You did everything right today. You avoided fried foods. You skipped the soda. You even had dinner early, thinking this would finally be the night you'd sleep, without that awful burning sensation climbing up your chest. And yet, as soon as your head hits the pillow, it starts again. That tightness in your throat, the bitter taste rising from your stomach, that fire in your chest that turns your bed into a place of torture instead of rest. It feels unfair. You're tired. You've aged. You've paid the price of experience. So why does your body feel like it's turning against you just when you need peace the most? The truth is, this isn't just about aging. It's about a silent mistake that millions of people over 60 make every night without realizing it. And it's not always about what you eat. Sometimes it's about what you believe is safe. For decades, we were told that having a glass of warm milk or a slice of bread before bed would coat the stomach and help with digestion. But science has evolved, and now we know that certain foods, especially when eaten too close to bedtime, can weaken the lower esophageal sphincter, that little valve meant to keep your stomach acid where it belongs. Once it relaxes, the acid rises like smoke through a chimney, burning everything in its path. And here's the part nobody tells you. The digestive system in an older adult doesn't work like it did in your 30s. The production of enzymes slows down. The stomach empties more slowly. And the tissues that once bounced back from occasional irritation now take much longer to heal. That's why, for older adults, even small triggers can cause disproportionate pain. A slice of cheese, a sip of wine, a late snack that seems innocent can turn into a long night of regret. And when this happens again and again, night after night, the damage becomes more than physical. It becomes emotional. Reflux steals more than your sleep. It steals your sense of safety. It makes you afraid to eat, afraid to lie down. It makes you dread the night and mistrust your own body. You start thinking it's just part of aging, that there's nothing you can do, that maybe you're stuck with this. And that's where the real danger begins. Because this feeling of helplessness opens the door to a cycle of silence and suffering. You stop talking about it. You accept it. And while you're quietly enduring, the inflammation keeps growing. The esophagus keeps burning. The tissue keeps scarring. And you have no idea that you're walking straight toward bigger problems. Chronic reflux, when left unchecked, can lead to more than just discomfort. It can evolve into esophagitis, ulcers, or even a condition known as Barrett's esophagus, a precancerous change in the lining of your throat. And while that may sound frightening, it's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up, because the truth is, none of this is inevitable. And the answer doesn't always lie in another pill or a lifetime of antacids. Sometimes it lies in changing one habit, in removing one common trigger, or in adding one simple food that your body has been begging for without you realizing it. And that's the part that changes everything. Because just like one food can trigger the fire, another can extinguish it. And when you find that food, that balance, that rhythm that works for your unique body, something powerful happens. You regain control. You start to eat without fear. You go to bed without bracing for pain. You stop living in reaction to your symptoms and start building a routine that works with your digestion, not against it. This isn't about giving up the foods you love or turning your life into a list of restrictions. It's about understanding the difference between what soothes your body and what silently harms it. For example, that toast and milk combo? For some people, it triggers fermentation in the stomach, increasing gas and pressure. That pressure pushes acid upward, leading to the burning sensation you're desperate to avoid. And if you lie down too soon afterward, gravity stops helping you. The acid no longer stays in the stomach where it belongs. It travels upward, uninvited and unchallenged. And what's worse, you may not feel the full pain right away. Sometimes it starts with just a cough at night, or waking up with a sore throat, or needing to clear your throat constantly. These are the quieter signs. the ones that most people ignore. But they're signals, and your body never sends a signal without a reason. It's trying to protect you, trying to tell you that something isn't right. And when you start listening, when you pay attention to what happens in your body after certain meals, you begin to see patterns. You start to understand that reflux is not random. It's responsive. It reacts to what you give it. And when you give it the wrong thing, it fights back. If you've ever felt the pain of nighttime reflux or found relief with one of these foods, share your experience in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of healing insight. But when you give it the right thing, something incredible happens. Your body responds with relief. Your throat feels calm. Your chest feels light. You wake up without the bitterness in your mouth. And that feeling, that deep exhale of peace, when your body isn't fighting itself anymore, becomes addictive. You want more of it. You begin to seek foods that heal, not harm. Habits that restore, not disrupt. And this shift, however small, is the beginning of healing. It's not about finding a miracle cure. It's about removing the silent poison and replacing it with nourishment. One meal at a time. One night at a time. One choice at a time. Because every night you go to bed with burning in your chest, you are not just losing sleep. You're losing the chance to restore your body. Sleep is when the gut heals, when the cells repair, when inflammation calms down. But when you're fighting acid all night, your body can't enter that deep repair mode. You're surviving, not recovering. And you deserve better than that. You deserve a night that feels like rest, a body that feels safe, and a life that is no longer controlled by fear of food or bedtime. And it all starts with understanding what's really causing the fire inside you. Not just treating the symptoms, but addressing the root. Because once you know what's fueling the flames, you can finally begin to put them out. Not with stronger pills, but with smarter choices. And sometimes, those choices begin with something as simple and beautiful as food. Food that cools instead of burns. That calms instead of irritates. That helps your body remember what peace feels like. And when you rediscover that peace, it doesn't just help you sleep better, it helps you live better. She is sweet, soft, and overlooked. And yet, for people over 60, she might be the single most soothing thing you could place on your plate. This humble fruit does not arrive with the drama of a medicine or the promises of a commercial. She does not demand attention. But inside her gentle texture lies a powerful gift your stomach has been waiting for. Her name is banana, and she is more than just a snack. She is one of the most naturally effective foods in calming acid reflux, especially at night, when your body is most vulnerable and your digestion is working on a slower rhythm. Bananas are naturally alkaline. That means they help neutralize excess stomach acid without triggering more acid production, like so many other fruits do. Unlike citrus fruits or berries, which are highly acidic and can aggravate reflux symptoms, bananas act like a buffer. They coat the lining of the stomach and esophagus with a gentle film, easing irritation and protecting inflamed tissue. For someone who wakes up at 3 in the morning with a fire in their chest, this one fruit can change the entire night, especially when eaten at the right time, in the right way. The ideal moment to eat a banana is around 90 minutes before bedtime. Why? Because by then, your stomach is starting to slow down, and the banana's natural fiber, especially pectin, begins to do its work. Pectin is a soluble fiber that forms a soft gel inside your digestive tract. This gel helps trap excess acid and food particles, slowing down fermentation and gas buildup, two major causes of nighttime reflux. It also supports smoother digestion, moving food gently through the stomach and into the intestines, reducing the pressure that causes acid to rise. There's another hidden benefit of bananas that few people talk about. They are rich in potassium, a mineral that not only supports heart health and muscle function, but also helps regulate the fluid balance in your digestive system. For seniors, this is critical. As we age, Our electrolyte levels can become imbalanced, especially when taking medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills. This imbalance can lead to bloating, fluid retention, and sluggish digestion. A ripe banana helps bring things back into harmony without overloading your system. But not all bananas are equal. There is a quiet trick to making them work even better. The ripeness matters. A banana that is just ripe, still firm, with a few brown specks, is the best choice. Overripe bananas, those with large black spots or a mushy texture, may contain more sugar and can actually ferment more quickly in your gut, which in some sensitive individuals can worsen reflux. So pick the ones that are in that perfect middle stage. Firm, slightly sweet, easy to chew, but not overly soft. Now imagine this as part of your evening routine. You finish dinner early, maybe around 6 or 7 p.m. Then, about an hour and a half before bed, instead of reaching for a cookie or a piece of bread or skipping food altogether, you peel a fresh banana. You eat it slowly, chewing well, allowing your body to begin the process of calm digestion before you even lie down. No pressure, no heat, just a soft descent into sleep, with your stomach gently supported by something your body recognizes as safe. For some people, combining banana with a spoon of almond butter or a few drops of chamomile tea can enhance the calming effect even more. Others prefer to slice the banana into a warm bowl of oatmeal, another soothing, fiber-rich food that helps reduce acid buildup. The point is not to complicate things, but to listen. To notice how your body feels after this kind of meal compared to nights when you go to bed with bread, cheese, or meat still sitting in your stomach. The difference is not subtle. It's like turning down the volume of discomfort and turning up the dial on comfort and safety. There's also something emotionally comforting about bananas. They're associated with warmth, with simplicity, with childhood. For many older adults, they bring back memories of breakfasts in family kitchens, of snacks packed by caring hands, of days when life felt more gentle. And that emotion matters, because healing is not only about biology, it's about connection. When you choose foods that feel nurturing, your nervous system responds, your stress lowers, your sleep deepens, your digestion improves. The entire ecosystem of your health shifts toward restoration. And that's what most people miss. They rush for the acid blocker. They avoid all fruits out of fear. They think the answer is in harsh restriction or chemical suppression. But sometimes, the answer is found in the most ordinary things, the things we forgot to value. A single banana, eaten with intention, can mark the beginning of a new relationship with your digestion, not one ruled by fear and reaction, but by curiosity and care. If you suffer from reflux, you are not broken. You are out of rhythm. Your body is still capable of healing, still asking for help in the most human way. And help can come in something as soft and quiet as this fruit. You don't need to fight your body. You need to listen to it. And when you listen carefully, you start to notice which foods speak the language of healing, which ones calm the storm, which ones help you fall asleep without fear of waking up choking or coughing or clutching your chest. For many seniors, adding banana to their nightly routine has been the small change that unlocked a big difference. One woman shared that after switching her evening bread for a banana, she went 5 nights in a row without waking up once from reflux. Another man said it was the first time in years he felt safe enough to lie down flat without elevating his entire mattress. These are real people, real stories, and they began with one small choice. We'd love to hear from you. What's helped you the most in managing reflux? Drop your story below and make sure you subscribe to join a growing community focused on peace, health, and better nights. There is no miracle. There is only awareness. When you understand how your body works, when you respect the quiet wisdom of your gut, you start to find solutions that were hiding in plain sight. And banana is only the beginning. Because once you discover the power of food that supports you, you'll want to know what else can help build that shield from within. What other simple choices can rebuild the peace you've been missing in your nights? And what ancient allies your body has been waiting for all along? It looks almost strange the first time you see it on your plate. A bit slippery, slightly slimy. Not something most people would call appetizing at first glance. And yet, this one food has been used for centuries by cultures all over the world to soothe inflammation, ease digestive pain, and form a natural barrier inside the body. It is not a medicine, it is a plant. And for those suffering with acid reflux, it acts like a soft, invisible armor. It is okra, and inside its simple, often overlooked pods, lies a compound so powerful that it mimics the protective lining your esophagus needs when acid begins to rise. Okra is rich in a substance called mucilage. This mucilage is a type of soluble fiber that, when cooked or chewed, turns into a gel-like consistency, and that gel does something extraordinary. It adheres gently to the lining of your digestive tract, covering irritated areas, reducing friction, and calming the burning that so often keeps reflux sufferers up at night. Think of it like a balm for the inside of your body, a quiet defender that doesn't block acid like a pharmaceutical, but shields your tissue so the acid doesn't hurt you. What makes this even more fascinating is how few people talk about it. In the West, okra has often been seen as a southern side dish, sometimes fried, sometimes tossed in stews, but rarely celebrated for its medicinal potential. Yet in traditional systems of medicine from India to Africa, okra has long been valued as a healing food. It is used to treat ulcers, calm gastritis, and ease throat irritation. And modern science is beginning to catch up. Studies now show that okra's mucilage has anti-inflammatory properties and may even help regulate blood sugar and cholesterol. But for someone struggling with reflux, its true gift is its ability to form that soft, soothing barrier right where it hurts most. Preparing okra the right way makes all the difference. You do not need to fry it or hide it in heavy sauces. The best method is simple. Lightly steam or simmer the pods until they become tender, but not mushy. Add a pinch of sea salt, a drizzle of olive oil, maybe a bit of oregano or fennel seed, both known for their digestive support. Some people slice the okra lengthwise, let it cool slightly, and eat it with a spoon like warm medicine. Others prefer to chop it into soups or blend it into a mild puree with carrots and sweet potatoes, creating a kind of healing bowl that coats the stomach in peace. There's even a lesser-known method called okra water. You take 2 or 3 pods, slice them lengthwise, and soak them overnight in a glass of water. By morning, the water turns slightly thick and slippery. You remove the pods and drink the water on an empty stomach. Many older adults who do this daily report dramatic improvements not just in reflux, but in regularity, energy, and digestive comfort. It is a simple habit, with ancient roots, now rediscovered by those tired of relying only on pills. The science behind this is not magic, it is mechanics. When your esophagus is constantly exposed to acid, its delicate tissue becomes inflamed. This inflammation makes it even more sensitive to the smallest amounts of reflux, and so begins a vicious cycle. The more inflamed it gets, the more it hurts. The more it hurts, the more acid your body produces in reaction. What okra does is not to stop the acid, but to interrupt the cycle. It gives the tissue a chance to breathe, to recover, to rebuild. And once healing begins, you notice other changes. Less coughing, fewer sore throats in the morning, more comfort when swallowing, a deeper feeling of safety inside your body. One man in his 70s shared that for years, he woke up every morning with a dry, scratchy throat and assumed it was just aging. After adding steamed okra to his dinner 3 times a week, those symptoms began to fade. He had no idea it was reflux slowly burning his throat while he slept. No idea that one vegetable could act like a protective layer between him and that silent damage. That's the power of food when used with knowledge and timing. It does not just fill the stomach, it teaches the body how to heal. For those who dislike the texture, there are creative ways to include okra without triggering resistance. Blend it into a green smoothie with cucumber and mint. Add it to a broth with ginger and carrots. Even roasting it gently with olive oil and turmeric can reduce the slime while keeping the mucilage active. The goal is not to turn it into a gourmet dish, but to understand that texture is part of its function. That stickiness is not a flaw. It is the very thing your throat and stomach need. What's beautiful about okra is that it works with your body, not against it. It does not shut down your digestion or alter your natural acids. It enhances what is already there. It helps you remember that the goal is not to eliminate acid altogether, but to create a system where the acid stays where it belongs. And once that system is calm, your energy shifts. You feel less tense after meals, less afraid of lying down. You stop scanning your body for symptoms. You start trusting it again. Rebuilding that trust is essential, because reflux is not just physical. It is psychological. It makes you anxious before meals. It steals the joy of food. It creates fear of the night. Okra, in its quiet way, helps restore the lost balance between body and mind. Not just by soothing your insides, but by proving that healing can begin without pain, without side effects, without punishment. That healing can be gentle. This vegetable, often dismissed as too slimy, too boring, or too foreign, becomes a partner in your healing story. A symbol of what happens when you return to nature, when you stop numbing your symptoms and start nourishing your tissue. It reminds you that the body remembers how to repair itself. It just needs the right support. And sometimes that support comes in the form of a green pod that leaves behind a trail of calm wherever it travels. When used alongside other soothing foods and mindful habits, okra becomes more than just a meal. It becomes part of your medicine cabinet, not in the way of chemicals or prescriptions, but in the old way, the human way, the way of care. And as you continue to listen to your body, you start to notice that even foods you once feared can become your allies. That the path to healing is not made of restriction, but of remembrance, of using what has always been there, waiting for you to notice. Was there a tip in today's video that truly resonated with you? Let us know in the comments. Your voice matters here. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and stay close. You're not alone on this journey. It does not look like a miracle food. It does not taste exotic. It does not come from a faraway land. And still, it may be the most underestimated weapon against nighttime reflux. This simple, familiar vegetable is sitting quietly in your fridge or resting unnoticed at the market, waiting to be chosen. It is green, crunchy when raw, but becomes soft and nourishing when gently cooked. It is broccoli. And behind its modest appearance lies a powerful ability to balance your stomach, absorb excess acid, and help restore comfort to a digestive system that feels tired and inflamed. Broccoli is rich in a compound called sulforaphane, a natural chemical with strong anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties. That means it not only calms irritation in the stomach lining, but also helps fight bacteria that may be contributing to poor digestion or overproduction of acid. For seniors, this is incredibly important. As the body ages, the digestive system slows down, and bad bacteria can sometimes take over, leading to more gas, bloating, and reflux. Broccoli helps tip the balance back toward healing, but the magic of broccoli doesn't stop there. It contains a high amount of fiber, especially insoluble fiber, which helps move food through the digestive tract faster. The slower your stomach empties, the more pressure builds up. That pressure forces acid upward, toward the throat. By helping your stomach clear more efficiently, broccoli prevents that pressure from reaching the point of discomfort. It acts like a broom, gently sweeping your digestion clean before you lie down to rest. Some worry that cruciferous vegetables like broccoli can cause gas or bloating. And while that may happen for some people when eaten raw or overcooked, the secret lies in how you prepare it. Steaming broccoli until just tender preserves its nutrients while making it easier to digest. A drizzle of olive oil, a sprinkle of cumin, or even a pinch of fennel seeds can help reduce any gas-producing effects and add flavor that supports digestion. For those especially sensitive, combining broccoli with other soothing ingredients like cooked carrots or mashed sweet potatoes can create a comforting, reflux-friendly plate that feels light and healing. You might be wondering how something so simple can make such a big difference. But healing is often like that. It is not always dramatic. It is not always instant. It comes in the form of gentle choices repeated with consistency. It comes when you stop feeding the fire and start feeding your body with what it truly needs. A warm bowl of steamed broccoli at night may not feel exciting, but the peace it brings to your chest, your throat, and your sleep can be life-changing. For many older adults, adding broccoli to dinner 3 or 4 times a week has been the quiet transformation they were waiting for. One woman shared that after years of waking up with coughing fits, she simply began eating steamed broccoli and zucchini at dinner with a glass of room-temperature water. Within 2 weeks, her symptoms improved so much she no longer kept antacids on her nightstand. Another man, who once avoided vegetables completely due to fear of reflux, now prepares broccoli every night with a bit of garlic and olive oil and sleeps through the night without waking up gasping for air. These are not isolated miracles. They are examples of what happens when food becomes medicine. Not a punishment, not a restriction, but a tool for repair. When your dinner plate becomes a place of restoration instead of fear, your entire body responds. Your nervous system calms. Your stomach quiets. Your nights feel safe again. And perhaps most importantly, your relationship with eating begins to heal. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by reflux, to believe that the only way to control it is with pills or rigid diets. But the truth is more empowering. Your body is not broken. It is asking for something. And when you listen with care, you realize it has been whispering the answer all along. It wants peace, simplicity, nourishment. And broccoli is one of those quiet answers. Not because it solves everything, but because it brings the first layer of balance your system has been missing. Imagine this: a calm evening, a warm plate of steamed broccoli with a few herbs, a banana for dessert, a glass of chamomile tea, no burning, no bitterness, just the gentle feeling of digestion working with you, not against you. That's not a fantasy. That is something you can create, beginning tonight. And with each night that passes, you begin to feel stronger, lighter, more in control. You are not just managing symptoms, you are reclaiming your health. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself the time to learn, to listen, and to heal. If this video brought you comfort or clarity, we invite you to keep walking this journey with us. Right now, on your screen, there is another video waiting for you. One that dives even deeper into the foods and habits that protect your digestion and bring peace to your nights. Click it, watch it. Let it guide you one step closer to a life without fear, without fire, and with the restful sleep you deserve.